Hi, welcome back to the Cottage Goth Library. I'm Lunacha, or Luna for short, and in today's video we're doing something that is long overdue. We're doing a questions and answers, or a Q&A. This is because in October, when I was in India, I managed to reach 500 subscribers! Woo! I then posted a video asking you to send me your questions, and I was planning on making this video by far earlier, but I didn't. So it's on high time that we kind of get into these questions and get them answered, and we'll see how where that leads us. I have collected all the questions and I have them on my phone here, and I'm going to answer them in the order that I got them. So there might be like the several questions from the same person, and that's fine. And I do have a cup of coffee in my Snort Maiden cup or mug, and she is one of my favorite moments. She's not my favorite moments, but I love the moments. That's what I try to say. I am not here today, it seems. Hopefully this questions and answers, this Q&A will not go totally wrong, even so. But knowing myself, I might ramble a bit, so it's going to be long. So make sure to have your beverage of choice so you stay hydrated during this video. Okay, so first question is from the Book Hermit. Have there been any surprises from being on YouTube? And yes, I started doing YouTube a fairly long time ago. I first had a channel where I did horror films, and that was before Google actually bought up YouTube. So I don't even have access to that channel anymore. And then in, I think it was 2011, that I decided I wanted to do books rather than horror films, because as much as I love horror films, I love books more, and I decided to switch over to books, and I did that in 2011. And I think the biggest surprise to me is how YouTube has turned out. It has been much more widely used. It's no kind of, back in the days, it was more like a niche thing than it is today. And I think that how it has turned out with actually having people that makes a career out of YouTube was kind of mind-boggling at some time. So that is something that absolutely has surprised me from being on YouTube. And another question from the Book Hermit is there anything you would advise new YouTubers? And I think my biggest advice would be not to care too much about numbers. Have fun. Do what you like. First and foremost, have fun with YouTube. Don't stress too much about having a lot of subscribers or a lot of views, because you might get quite disappointed. You might do well, of course, you might, but I think it's more important to keep in mind that it should be something you do for fun. Don't expect it to be your career. That's my biggest advice, I think. And another question from the Book Hermit is, for new subscribers, what made you want to start a channel, and has your motivation for keeping it changed? That's a very good question. So answering what made me want to start a channel, it must just be for my love of books and for having fun with video making. I think that would be the question, but I find it very hard to answer, since I started doing booktube like a long time ago, like 15 years ago or something, or more than 15 years ago. So I don't know about you, but my memory is not that great. So I think that my motivation for keeping it hasn't really changed. It's just for fun. It's something I do as a hobby. and I kind of enjoy the community it makes as well. I actually did have a fairly long break at some point. I can't remember when it was. But that's fine. You can have a break and then start doing it again. It's fine. The Book Hermit has loads of questions. What's your favorite things about being on YouTube? I think my favorite things are the community, and also being able to chat about books with others. I think that's the most fun thing. And it's like the community, making new friends, bookish friends. I think that's the great thing, more than anything else. And the last question from the Book Hermit is, tell us about India. Oh, that's a very big topic. This is because I asked, this video where I asked about asking me questions was shortly after being in India. And when I was in India, I did daily vlogs, and I have a playlist for that, and I'm going to link that. I'm going to put it up here, I think that's where it is, and as well is in the description box. And I was thinking of making like a video on things I liked and disliked about India, but I haven't really had the spoons to do that, the energy, and it's a huge topic. So tell us about India. It's like so much to tell. I wasn't there for very long. I was only there for like 11 days, but it made a big impression. And I think if there's one big thing I could change, it would be to be stressed more about what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. And also, I would have wanted more time in Rishikesh, because Rishikesh was probably my favorite part of India. And I think it was the first night I was there. I went to a Ganga Aarti, which is like a ceremony, a Hindu ceremony by the Ganges, and it was just simply magical. I'll link to the short from that, or the video. Not the short. I do have a short, but I have a video. It's quite a big part of a video in one of my videos from India. I'll link that up here and in the description box as well, because that was magical. So that's. I could probably have talked more about India, but it's going to be too long. India is a big topic. Also, I just have to mention Taj Mahal. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. That was magical as well. I just love Taj Mahal. It's like seeing it up close. I understand why it's one of the wonders of the world. Just leave it at that. So the next question is from the librarian of Alexandria, or Renee. I'll leave a link to all the people with the questions. They'll get mentioned in my description box, so make sure to check out those. So that's is there a book that don't exist that you want someone to write? Which is a great question, but I'm not sure if I can answer it. There keep popping up books that I absolutely love. But I would love to see more books, especially fantasy books or science fiction books with main characters. Well written, with a diverse set of characters and intricate world building. And for sure not a book I'm going to ever write. I'm not. I've tried to write books. I'm not very good at it. It might even exist up there. There's a book called In the Ravenous Dark. I should probably reread that. That is super good, and it has a and blood magic main character. It's such a good book. Such a good book. I think I have a review on it, don't I? If I do, I'll link it up here and in the description box as well. Hopefully I'll remember doing that. Oh, I actually managed to jump over some questions here. So another another question from Renee is, what is a book that you think is perfect? I don't think any book is perfect, to be honest with you. It would have been great if there was, but then again, there will never be anything to strive for. I'm just going to leave that question there. And then there's a question from Ven over at Ven's Corner. And the question is, you have been on YouTube a long time. What would you say is the biggest change you have seen from when you started as a content creator? This is a really, really good question, but I think I kind of blipped into it. So YouTube used to be like this very small niche thing, and I would say that if there were like people talking about books, you were very likely to find them because there weren't that many. And I had some bookish friends. They're no longer on YouTube, and there's some YouTubers has gone from being fairly small at the time, and I still kind of follow them, but I don't interact with them anymore, and they gotten really big over the years. I kind of took a break, and I never managed to grow to that size, of course, and I'm not very good at how to get my numbers up anyway, and I don't really care that much, to be honest with you. So I think that the biggest change, coming back to the question, would be that it has gotten a lot more commercial, which I'm not sure I like that much, to be honest with you. But again, not surprising, because capitalism. I need a sip of coffee. I keep talking and talking. Where are we here? So that was from Ben, and then the next question is from the very lovely Jalisa. Reading beyond the book's cover. So Jalisa asks, has your channel always been book related? This channel has always been book related, but my previous channel, as I said previously, was not. So yes, this channel has always been about books. And then the next question is also from Jalisa. Are there any changes in the works now that you've reached 500, the 500 subscriber mark? And I guess that would be a no. I keep thinking about changes, but I don't know what that would be. Oh, sorry, I pick at my finger. I wasn't meaning to do that, sorry. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I want. I don't feel that I need to do many changes, or I could do many changes, but it has nothing to do with the number of subscribers. And then another question from Ben. Do you have any videos you have done that you are especially proud of making? Ooh, this was a question that I would say Norwegian took meg på senga. Can't translate that. It took me by surprise, I guess. Is there a video I'm specifically proud of making? maybe my new reading journal video I'm quite proud of. It's gotten quite a lot of views, but I think also a lot of like the travel videos I'm proud of. Don't know. I find it hard to. Sorry, then. I don't really. I kind of forget. This is another thing. So, the next question is from Commander Eagle. 07 Commander. So for those of you who doesn't know, Commander Eagle does a computer game called Elite Dangerous. I've started playing it, but it was so hard. So I should come back to actually sitting down and play it properly. But I know there's been so many changes since I first got it. But I should play it more. And probably stream it as well. So the question is, what made you decide to expand your channel and do travel vlogging in addition to the books? But the thing is, I actually don't travel for a long time. So if you go back, I do have like one of my, like I have some old videos where like go to Tromsø and London and England. So I actually have a really old video. The quality isn't great because it's an old video where I'm in England, and that actually had quite a few views. So it's not new actually. So another question from Commander Eagle: have you ever published before and or had any features before, and is there a place we can buy read? And yes, I am in a couple of anthologies. One is called Hedmark Ungdomsforteller, which is in Norwegian. That is you can't buy it anymore. This is from the mid-90s, and I got poetry published there, but you can probably find it in the library, so you can probably, if you're in a Norwegian library, so you could probably find it there. So there's, with my old name. So if you can manage to find it, that would be good. Very. And then there is one anthology that is actually in English, but I think it's called The Sound of Silence. I'm not sure if it's possible to buy it anymore, actually. But other than that, I do have some poetry online, but it's mostly Norwegian. There's also been like in newspapers, like old-fashioned newspapers, paper, but they're probably not around anymore either. But other than that, I haven't had anything big under my name, sort of thing. Next question is from Isam. And what are your favorite authors' books? Could you do a top 10? The last question first. Could I do a top 10? And I'm going to say no. But I do have several favorite authors and several books that I love. I love Emma Newman, Neri Okorafor, just to mention a couple, Jane Austen, of course, huge Jane Austen fan, and favorite books, I'm not even going to start. Though I'm going to mention the Split World series by Emma Newman, if you're into fantasy, if you're a fantasy lover, and you like fairies. I think the Split Worlds outdoes a lot of the things that are hyper popular, and I don't understand why not more people read it, but they are not new. The first book I think was published in 2014, 13. It's been a long time since I read the first one, and then they came out later on, the books, but they're so good. I want to reread them, to be honest with you. And then next question is from the Menomilist. You made sure to make your username hard, Victoria. So the question is, what made you interested in India originally? I think it's a combination of things. So I think it's yoga. I started doing yoga in 2009, and it has roots in India. So I think that was kind of one thing. But also before that, I did tribal belly dancing, and I know there were people who did so belly dancing is Middle Eastern, but the tribal has also picked up things from especially with the jewelry and stuff is Indian. So there's a little bit of that, as well as Bollywood dancing, but it's a long time ago, so it's very hard to answer. It's just something that has grown on me, the interest, and the more I learn, the more interesting I find it, because it's such a diverse country, and it's old and has so much history, and it's just so interesting. That being said, I'm not going to go back to India, I think. It's very unlikely, and the long travels are really wearing on you, and I'm not getting younger, that's for sure. And the next question is from Katie. What's your favorite movie? Oh, that's also a very hard question. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I love Once, which is an Irish film. I love Dead Poet Society, which is an old film, and long-time favorite of mine, actually. Those are the three films that kind of pop up without even thinking. So I think I'm going to go by those, especially Lord of the Rings, I think. I need to rewatch them. I really do need to rewatch them. So next question is from Rose. Salut Rose, ça va? Who's French. So the next question is, did you ever been a librarian? I guess this question is if I always wanted to be a librarian, and the answer to that is actually no. I actually did a university degree first with English major, and I didn't really know what to do with it. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and then I worked with the police, actually, which sounds very strange, but I did work with the police, and then I was visiting a friend of mine in Trondheim, and she is a librarian, and I was at her place, or her workplace, and sitting there, and I was kind of thinking, why am I not a librarian? That is something I think I would really like to do. So I actually quit my job and then applied for library and information science. Yes, in that order. But I knew that I had enough points to get into library and information science, even though I also knew that it was very hard to get into that bachelor's degree. So I have a bachelor's in library and information science, as well as an old-fashioned candidata magistri, or something, with an English major. I also have some other subjects in that degree. This is a system that is not around anymore. The next question from Roz is, what is your favorite place to read? Everywhere. That's a very bad answer, but I think maybe either on the couch with a cup of hot drink, in a cafe, or during the summer. I love sitting out on the balcony or in a park. I also love reading on the train. It's very hard to answer one. And I also have a bonus question, I think. This is from my brother. It's very funny. So, Hi, brother. I think you're here because my brother is a subscriber and watches my videos. This is a very cheeky question. Why is a raven like a writing desk? So this refers to Alice's Adventures by Lewis Carroll, and he actually himself proposed an answer in the 1897 final revision of Alice's Adventures. The answer is because it can produce a few notes, though they are very flat, and it is never put with the wrong end in the front. The early issue of the revision spell never as never. That is the raven with the wrong end in the front. So that's the answer to that, I guess. It was very messy. This was a very messy video as well. I'm so sorry, but I hope it was okay. And at least I managed to get through all the questions, and I thank you so much for asking them and for being here and for being a subscriber, and I am very, very grateful for every single one of you. So with that, I'm going to end this video, drink my coffee, and I will see you in my next video, whenever that will be, and until then, take care, and I'll see you then. Bye!